This could all go horribly wrong at any minute.
Hello there, and welcome to the 209th edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled Chaos. Yes, chaos. Chaos. Because that's what we're living through, and that's what we're going to be seeing, and it's not going to end. And did I want to talk about him this week? No, I did not want to talk about him this week. But it becomes impossible, because a lot of what comes out of his mouth is so reprehensible that you can't, I can't sit here and go, oh yeah, that's fine. Sure, let that pass. You know, it's too much. It's in the air. It's in the oxygen. It's everywhere. Okay. And yeah, I was drinking from the go fuck yourself mug. All right. And that was me on the mug, because I'm telling myself to go fuck myself, because I shouldn't be talking about him. But I got nothing else to talk about. I'm not going to talk about the Super Bowl. I'm not a goddamn analyst, but I know bullshit when I hear it. And I'm fucking sick of hearing it from him. Sick of it. Because we don't know what he literally just kind of spews stuff. You know, he was doing it again today. He's signing these bills. Doing this, will do that. And 13,000 people ate over there, and 1,200 people bringing donuts down the hill. Some of them had inside of them things that were just inexplicable. They came over the border, and not even the border that we're next to, another border, a new border, the one that I haven't even told you about yet. It's got to stop, okay? And it has to, not only with him, but with any politician. When any politician speaks from here on in, okay? On the bottom of the screen, there's got to be somebody, give him a degree, give whatever kid wants to sit there and go, not a fact, not a fact. When something comes out of a leader's mouth, someone who purports to be a leader, that somehow won, okay, in all cases, I'm not just talking about his case, okay? You have to know immediately if what they're saying is the truth or not. And I'm fed up with it, okay? Both sides do it, but what he's doing is a whole new realm, just a whole new realm of it. Look, I know I'm snapping, okay? I got it. When that horrific accident occurred over the Potomac, reminding me of another accident that occurred over the Potomac years ago. But this one was an Alaska Air flight, I think, before, but by its own. It was, the plane itself went down. This was just a horrible accident. He immediately came out with what his take on it was. Shut the fuck up, okay? I mean, serious. Somebody should have stepped in and said, we're really sorry, okay? As an adult, I have to tell you, does anybody step up? No. The Democrats, the best they got is Chuck Schumer. They got to get him out of the room, all right? Because even if he's telling them the fact, you wouldn't hear the fact, okay? Because he just is intolerable to listen to, okay? If you want someone, you get somebody who can be forceful and speak in the same fashion that he did. He sat there and said, boy, you know what the problem is here? It's those, it's really the problem with DEI, all right? It's the fact that they're, you know, and then you immediately go, yeah, wow, there shouldn't be, but you know, it's all over the government too. No, we got to get rid of all this DEI. Got to get rid of Black History Month at the Pentagon. Why? Okay? How does that fuck up anything? All right? It's a celebration. It's a celebration of a whole group of people who've made a profound fucking difference in terms of this country, in terms of the military, in terms of the lives that we live today. Okay? And showed a level of bravery, fighting the nonsense of bullshit they had to fight in order to just get to the point that a group of people have decided, nah, fuck it. We're going to close the door on that shit. Enough's fucking enough. Okay? So it was, but, it wasn't really the blacks and the Latinos' fault. No. And for a moment, a transgender, they pointed out, well, that person was in it, and the person wasn't in it. No, it was the fault of the DEI, because what the DEI allowed the folks to work, in air traffic control. These are the paraplegics, people who some people didn't have arms. Some people no hearing, deaf people, all sorts of people, dwarfs. I mean, really, dwarfs. They're the ones. They're yep, sorry. That's what they've allowed. No, it's just ludicrous. No, quite simply, if you wanted to come on and say, it would have been quite simple to say, before we even got to the problem he created by, I think it was, was it Musk, who let go of, said, really, we got to get rid of the head of the FAA, the Federal Aviation Agency. So he's not in place when this happens. No, it was the fact that that all they had to say was that we have been behind in hiring air traffic controllers for so long now. It is profoundly a problem. Well, there were nobody in there, and that's why. And God knows it was probably somebody with one eye. They were picking their good eye. Was looking for their bad eye on the ground crash. I'm surprised he didn't say that. And they sat there, and then as soon as that happened, that not even a Republican can stand up afterwards and go, our president really crossed the line today. Come on, okay? So I'm sorry if I have to sit here because I can't take it, and I can't take the fact. But you don't watch it. There's no way of missing it. If I don't hear it there, it's going to come from somebody across the hall who's yelling about it, or it's going to come from a newspaper. Yeah, read a newspaper. I need to read newspapers still because I'm so stupid. Could come over and it does come over the phone. There's no way to escape it. It's a constantly out there. And as soon as it happened, it got out there. Did anyone do anything about it? No, it was just kind of like, boy, really, he shouldn't have been saying that. DEI is not a problem, right? There are problems with DEI, okay? I need to know how many white people have been fucked over because of DEI, with the massive amounts of them who've been completely screwed because of it, all right? I need to know that. I need to know the number. Because we're just going ahead and going, yeah, that's fine, because, boy, that's been the problem. That's been the problem. We really need to kind of focus on keeping white people in charge. They've been so fucked. I mean, it's so stupid that's coming out of my mouth. But it's got, we cannot just say, okay, no, it's all working out really well. We are trying to make a better society, okay? I'm not talking woke. Fuck you, all right? I want to hear it. For those of you who are, well, that's kind of a woke. No, it's not. It's just what I believe in. I believe that it is important for all folks out there to be able to aspire to be whatever it is that they can be, and to go as far as they're able to go. And that we need, in order for there to be a more understanding and empathetic place in which to live, we need DEI. So we're not surrounded by the same faces as I was mostly in my childhood, and have been for a chunk of my life, but which is one of the reasons I probably got into theater, which was still where I was surrounded with a lot of white folks, and a lot of that had to do with the plays we were writing, the plays that were being produced, and some of the plays that were being written, and the fact that there was no kind of sense of colorblind casting. Oh, you can have colorblind. Yes, you can. All right. And I was so busy trying to just learn what I had to learn because it ain't easy. Writing a play makes stand-up look like a day at the beach in terms of a learning curve. So your focus is like over here, and you want it to be here. You want it to be about the whole of theater, and I'm too worried about what writing plays were. And now I'm off the subject. Yeah, I am. Maybe that's what I should talk about from here on in, and maybe I will, because this is nonsense. That we didn't vote for chaos. Okay, I don't care what people say, or a lot of people. No, there were some people who probably wanted chaos. Right? The same way in the '60s, there were a lot of kids who wanted it, who wanted anarchy, who wanted to bring down the government in many ways. Some of them. They were, in terms of, it went beyond just stopping the war. It was stopping the madness, and that maybe pull the plug on some of government, and certainly in terms of the power of the Pentagon and all of that. And so here we are now. And instead of it being the left wing and the far left, in a sense, that is screaming and yelling and promoting chaos, it's the right. And those who go, yes, we must have chaos in order to breathe. No, we voted for him to disrupt things. Yes, you may have voted for him to disrupt things, but there's still rules in place, and you can't have the person who's in charge, one of the three branches of government, say, well, we can ignore these rules. All right? They want to break down USAID, the largest humanitarian organization I believe in, well, not just our government, or certainly in terms of our government and of any government in the world. We provide what USAID provides is extraordinary on a budget that is literally 1% of our budget. And it's got to be put inside the State Department. We're going to move it. It was put outside the State Department, so it would be taken out of the politics and be used for, oh, wait a sec, good. All right? Yeah, but we need to really have it. We should do these things so that it promotes us. No, we should do these things because it saves human lives. All right? And helps people. And you know what else it does? It helps promote democracies around the world. Isn't that something? That's what it does. That's really what it does. And I could go through all the list. I don't do it from time to time. Look it up. It's not my job to sit here and lecture. If I did, I'd have a blackboard. Oh, you can see my little stuff behind me there. It's things I've got to shred before they come. They won't be coming here. Not to the Lewis Black Public Access Studio. It's not going to be happening. But boy, wow. And the thing is that the USAID was created by Congress and can only be put in under the State Department by Congress itself. Today, I had to listen to him say that, oh, no, that's not true. I can do that on my own. No. Mm-mm. And the Republicans say it's just fine. No. We have a separation of powers. I rely on each branch of government to do the job it was given to do. You don't just renege on it. You just don't say, okay. Nobody voted for that. Nobody. All right? And especially, they weren't voting for Elon Musk to call the USAID and for him to go examine it. Based on the fact that he's the richest man on the planet? That's his fucking resume? Good resume, but not a resume to be involved in decisions of the government. maybe some of them, maybe take a look at the budget, make some suggestions. No one expected him that I know of when they voted, said, yeah, I'd really like him to vote for to go examine the Treasury, which he did. And we're both with the USAID and with the Treasury allowed to see things he shouldn't have been allowed to see because they're what? Secret. They're secret things. There's $3 trillion that comes through. And it was the part of the Treasury Department that prints and pays the bills. And he went in there and took a look at that. And no, wasn't voted for. Wasn't voted for by these people. I don't believe it. Okay? I'd love to know how many of the folks out there who voted for Donald Trump, when they voted for him, said, wow, and I can't wait for Elon Musk to have his hand in everything. And watching the President Trump the other day, after that plane went down, it was like seriously a dark comedy at its finest. His discussion of what went wrong out there over the Potomac was written by like Paul Krasner. Look him up. I'm not going to tell you. I really wish Paul was around today to have written what that was. He probably just would have written down what he said and said, "Are you kidding me?" And that really should be the title of every Rantcast until I stop doing this nonsense. But every Rantcast should really be just called, "Are you kidding me?" Week 12,421. Are you kidding me? Or are you fucking kidding me? All right? Let's see that again. Hey, Lewis. Ooh. Go fuck yourself. That's what's going on. That's what's happening. I think I got everything I wanted to. Oh, and Kash Patel is going to be the head of the FBI. That's the other thing, they want them to, everyone who was around, everyone who was involved in the investigation of January 6th and what happened. They went into Congress and did things that were utterly horrific. Some of them, utterly horrific. Beat the shit out of cops, okay? And these people shouldn't have investigated at the FBI? What fucking planet are these people on? Huh? Of course they should have. Then the pardon's not enough. You got to punish the FBI? Are you kidding me? And it's thousands. And a lot of those people, that's what they were assigned, okay? Was there some political motive behind any of it? I'm sure there was a bit behind a few of them. Most of them, no. Not the way it works. There's some on the left and there's some on the right. And the rest of them are fucking civil servants who know what their fucking job is. Okay? And it's to deal with all sorts of crime, including terrorism. Okay? Let's be sure that they're not working on them. Let's get rid of all of them. Let's put in Kash Patel, who said he won't say if he'd use the FBI to hunt his foes. He won't say if he'd do it. He's been saying he'd do it, but he won't say if he would. He has to say he wouldn't do it. And somebody said today that that's why they want to get rid of him now, so that the onus won't be put on him when he goes in and does get rid of him. This is disgusting. And there's something wrong with Kash Patel, okay? And how do I know this? Because he's got crazy eyes. Go look at him again. I don't care. I don't care what you have to say about it. Go look at his eyes. All right? When you see a person on TV and they look crazy, they're crazy. Some people could say it about me, I'm sure. But I don't think I look crazy. All right? because I've got some acting chops. So I'm hiding my crazy in its own way. Kash Patel has no acting chops. He is nuts. Haldeman was nuts. Ehrlichman was nuts. And you could see it in their eyes. We'll finish up with this. I wish I had more jokes. I don't anymore. All right? It's enough. This is just so I can get this shit off my chest. You're going to love this, especially those who yell and scream about getting rid of the financing of, like public radio. This is in North Carolina, the public radio station there. One of them there is refusing to broadcast 6 performances from New York's Metropolitan Opera, citing inappropriate content. The Metropolitan Opera, which I fucking don't understand what they're singing, okay? Deborah Proctor says the contemporary operas, which include X, the life and times of Malcolm X, have adult themes and plainly audible offensive language. What if one child hears this? You know what'll happen? They'll take the radio and they'll smash it on their head until they're bleeding, until their brain shows, because that's what happens when a child hears profanity. Just that one child. And if 2 children hear it, they'll beat the shit out of each other. And if 5 hear it, they'll have a gang, okay? And they'll be out there selling drugs and robbing grocery stores. Oh, man. What if one child hears this, Proctor said. Proctor, which is very similar to what's the name that Deborah Proctor, it was, I believe, from, there was a character in The Crucible. See, I'm bringing it all back to drama. Maybe it's what I'll be talking about. Lewis Black's history of how he got in and out of the theater. What if one child hears this? Proctor said, when I stand before Jesus Christ on Judgment Day, what am I going to say? I'll tell you what Jesus will say to you. Shut the fuck up, Proctor. Shut the fuck up. Thanks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for allowing me to spew my fucking nonsense and allowing me to show that mug with me telling me to go fuck myself. Just a little undermining of what went on today. I deeply appreciate that you spend this time with me and allow me to go on and on and on. But more importantly, that you listen to the folks who send in their rants. And there's some great ones this week, I assure you. So I hope you enjoy them as much as I did, as much as I enjoyed reading them and sharing them with you. It's a privilege and a pleasure every time we get together. I hope your week's a good one. And I hope next week the Super Bowl coming. Maybe that's what I can talk about. And the snacks. How good were the wings, Lewis? Maybe that'll be next week's topic. From Roman Mosiuk. Hope I got that right, Roman. As you know, I have a tendency to stumble over this, but it always gives me great joy to read something from one of our Canadian neighbors, and especially when it comes to their healthcare system and our healthcare system. I delight in it. And the fact that they can actually talk about a different healthcare system, one that seems to work. But we'll get to that in just a moment. Hi, Lewis. First, I'd like to thank you for your kind words about Canada. It's my pleasure. I love being a Canadian. It's not without its faults, of course, just like any country on this planet. Oh, we don't have any faults anymore, Roman, but that's just us. The rest of the world, the rest of the country's mired in faults. What prompted me to write a rant today is the nonsense being spouted by the man-child currently occupying the White House. More specifically, with respect to his comparison of healthcare between our two countries. I rolled my eyes so hard to the back of my head hurts. I am 69 now and still working. I enjoy my job and I make a decent buck doing it. About 12 years ago, I had hip replacement surgery and it cost me nothing. Just 3 weeks ago, or 3 years ago, I had knee replacement surgery, and guess what? It cost me nothing. Yes, I do make more money and consequently pay more taxes than I ever have in the past. And it's the above-mentioned surgeries that have enabled me to do so. I will continue to work for the foreseeable future, and I'll stop when I feel like it, not when I'm too sick to work. I'm sure that without universal health care, I would be financially crippled, jobless, and in a wheelchair, holding out a coffee cup, begging for change. American-style health care? You can keep it. As for being a 51st state, never gonna fucking happen! Since convicted felons aren't allowed into Canada, I guess it's the only way he figures he would get across the border. Hang in there. It's only 4 years. Come and visit anytime you need a break from the madness. Thanks for listening, Roman. Thank you, Roman. Convicted felons aren't allowed into Canada. Ooh, wow. I did not know that. It's going to make it tough for him to work on his project of making Canada a state. Stop. I just have to stop this. It's beyond my comprehension, Roman. Thanks for getting me riled up. You know, I was doing so well. And this is only the first one I've read today. Thank you, Roman, for showing us the error, once again, of our ways. Take care of your country. Take care of yourselves. And I'll give you a warning if we're coming your way. Here comes one from Jim Weaver about booze, a favorite of mine. Something interesting, no one has really written on this subject in particular. Being a born and bred Wisconsinite, a place where adult beverages have a certain reverential status, there's a trend in the world today that is making me rethink the survivability of man as a species in general. I am, of course, talking about flavor-infused spirits. Flavor-fucking-infused? Look, by definition, vodka is a flavorless, colorless spirit distilled from one of several materials from grain to potatoes. Flavorless is in the definition. The wimpification of society begins with this liquor. Lemon, lime, dragon fruit, and tea berry, just to name a few. What the fuck is tea berry anyway? For centuries, humans have been crafting wonderful hard spirits with the intent of providing an escape from the tensions of daily life. A good belt to take the edge off the day, as it were. How can you take the edge off of anything with cotton fucking candy flavored rum or a pineapple passion fruit vodka? Honey bourbon, cinnamon bourbon, orange bourbon. You know what flavor of bourbon I drink? Bourbon fucking flavored. That is the whole point of the stuff. Today, I read a company is introducing a chicken spice infused tequila. What the fuck? Chicken spice infused? What the fuck is chicken spice? In closing, tell the millennials that not everything needs a cutesy flavor additive. Many revered brands of spirits whose names, products, and recipes have survived the test of time for more than a century are having their name besmirched with pomegranate or currant. This stuff was invented for a purpose, and not every purpose needs to be infused with mango. Thank you for your time. P.S. Don't get me started on beef stew flavored ice cream. And we're at the point where you've got to ask, is that a joke? Did you make that up? But we're at that point in time in which you could believe it's true. And who orders that? Wow. Jim, thank you for sharing. That was quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Here's one from Donna S. It's it's kind of a rant within a story, within a rant, within a... Well, I'll let her speak for herself. Thank you, Donna. Hi, Louis. I am a 61-year-old woman who drives a rather boring, underpowered mini SUV. Nothing fancy, kind of sluggish, but it meets my needs. I live in San Francisco. When driving to the store, I had an interaction with a Tesla Cybertruck driver you might enjoy. Sure, he has his shiny new stainless steel refrigerator on wheels. He is very important. So important that he chose to ride my ass going up a hill. We were on a small residential street with no room to pass, but he kept trying. Oh, did he try. When we got to a section with a two-way turn lane in the center, commonly called a suicide lane, he chose not to make a move. That overpriced beast probably couldn't get up to speed on the steep hill. Lou, I was going the speed limit, which is 35 miles per hour. Not exactly gunning it. I thought I'd lose him when I made the turn at the top of the hill. I was heading to the grocery store. Me, an old lady, in a mediocre car going to the store. Reusable bags at my side. I cannot look less dangerous. What he doesn't know is that I used to race motorcycles. I peaked at fourth in my class, even with a bike that was not considered competitive. I'm also an open-wheel racing fan. I know how to take a corner, but most importantly, I know how to do exactly what I did to him. I held my lane. I held my lane coming up the hill. Sure, he could have tried to pass, but I gave him no extra room. We made the turn at the top. There are two lanes that quickly merged to one. I was in the forward-going left lane. He was in the right lane, which must merge. He was slightly behind. He gestured. He yelled. He threw his hands around like murder hornets were attacking his face. I held my lane. And I did all this staying exactly at the speed limit. Let that sink in. I'm not racing. I'm just driving. After that turn, the speed limit was 25 miles per hour. The OJ chase was at higher speeds. When the Cybertruck couldn't pass me, and he wasn't willing to back off, he ran out of lane. He trapped himself with two choices. One was to hit me. He took the other. He jumped the curb. I drove on. I expected that he learned his lesson. That is, that he would be long gone when I drove by after shopping. His ego would be bruised, but Elon Musk's vehicle of the apocalypse should be able to take a curb without any major damage. My rolling shitbox can. Nope. As I drove by, my car full of groceries, feeling the joy of having gotten both the ice cream that was on sale and fresh, hot fried chicken, his truck was being towed. His truck was truly fucked, with one wheel hanging precariously and the front end looking like a herd of elephants rammed it. What did we learn here? You never know what skills an old lady has. Don't let the gray hair fool you. Within the past 3 years, I have driven a car at more than 200 miles per hour. I've avoided a collision by doing a 180 on a freeway late at night in the rain. I can drive better than he can even dream of driving. The most important thing I hope you learn is fuck around and find out. Oh, Cybertruck guy, you are just truly and completely fucked. Can't wait to see you on the road again. You know, after you find the overpriced parts for that rolling piece of garbage you bought to boost your now crumbling ego. You fucked around. You found out. Looking forward to seeing you on the road. Must have been a good day, Donna, especially when you get your ice cream and your hot fried chicken. Well done, Donna. Well done. Yeah, whenever I see those Cybertrucks, and I did the thing on the Daily Show about them, I mean, I'm like, they're stunning. They're really stunning. Unbelievable. I think they're based on what his head would look like if it were a car. All right. Take care. From Kent Shepard, a military service we don't hear from enough, and who do terrific work for us and don't get their due. My father served his country in the U.S. Coast Guard for over 27 years, and while moving every few years growing up was difficult for me, I look back at it fondly, getting to experience different parts of the United States, and I am more than proud of my dad and his service. You will see commercials or videos mentioning the armed services. They always list the Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force. Heck, they even sometimes list the Space Force now. But they never mention the Coast Guard. Yes, the Coast Guard is under the Department of Homeland Security and not the Department of Defense. But they are still our military. I'm very proud of all of the work our servicemen and women do every day. But I wish everyone would remember the Coast Guard in these articles, videos, and commercials. I do too, Kent. I just wish they'd remember that they're there and what they do for us, but, you know, it's not as glamorous, and I think that's the reason. And maybe they don't have a recruiting problem, Ken, because of that. Maybe the people who, like your dad who signed on for it, knew what they were going to be doing and liked what they were going to be doing and were proud of what they were going to be doing. And I'm certainly glad that you wrote that in, and I'm certainly proud of our Coast Guard. Thank you again, Ken. From Katherine Campbell. I'm reading this really because of the ending. Here we go. What the hell is the matter with us? I feel like I'm going to be yelling for the next 4 years, and it's driving me insane. Elon Musk is clicking his heels, giving a Nazi salute, and Trump still can't read, and now we have to deal with his stupid motherfucking picks for his cabinet? What the bloody fucking hell has happened to my country? I'm beyond annoyed. And I'm in menopause. I'm also a registered voter who lives in a small town. I mean a teeny tiny small town in Central Florida. And nobody says anything about President Cheeto taking the oath of office on Martin Luther King Day, and he wouldn't even touch the Bible. How is this not front page news? It's disgusting, and it pisses me off. It really fucking pisses me off so much that I probably better just stop thinking about it for a minute. Yeah. You have to stop thinking about it for a minute, Katherine, or your head will explode. I mean, especially if this is really pissing you off this much. But it's going to be like, well, who knows? Maybe it'll wake up tomorrow and everything will be, he'll have run the gamut. He'll have run out of, maybe the country will run out of craziness. Oh, we can only wish for that, can't we, Katherine? Good luck. I hope you stop thinking about it for a minute and your head didn't explode. Okay. Some interesting points brought up by Michael Gomez, or Gomes. I'd just like to thank you, Mr. Trump, for making sure I pay more for my groceries. I just went shopping and eggs and milk are up, and I can't thank you enough for making sure I have to pay more for my insulin medication. You are the epitome of generosity and empathy. Thank God I didn't vote for you. I would have been kicking my ass asking myself why. Why would I believe in someone who is a convicted felon, pussy-grabbing, grifting, hypocrite, dictator? You couldn't even say the Lord's Prayer at the Mass you attended or put your hand on the Bible that you're swearing in, and you call yourself a Christian? You are the butt of every joke on late night TV, and you want to know why? Because you are a showman. You like the limelight. You have no idea what you are doing, and your gang of thugs you call your administration are just going to tear everything down that was good for the American people. I give you less than a year, and you will be impeached again or resign. I doubt that, Michael, but everything's going up. The price of shit is on the rise, Michael. And let's hope it peaks. Let's hope it peaks soon for those out there who have suffered enough, that's for sure. Everyone's suffering in their own fashion, Michael. Everyone. Except for that percentage that they don't care. They'll pay more just to have him wandering around and putting on the show, as you like to say. Ben F., who's, well, you'll see, pissed about the way his group is being treated. Hello, Lewis. Last week I listened to you read a rant from someone who droned on about millennials, making it hard for them to do something because they still don't understand modern technology and how apps work in the year 2025. You know what? That seems like it's your problem. For the love of God, can we stop blaming millennials for literally fucking everything? Seriously, I'm a millennial. I've heard it all, and I'm sick of it. Sick of how soft we all are, even though we were the age group that fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. You know, that was the wars started by boomers. We dealt with 9/11, dealt with boomers electing George W. Bush and Donald Dumbass the first time, and then again the second time. The reasons why Obama and Biden won, because more millennials voted than ever before. We also dealt with COVID and school shootings and Dick Cheney accidentally shooting his friend while hunting. So when I say please stop blaming us for everything, it's getting fucking old already. Kindly fuck all the way off. Is Billy Joel, I think it is. You have Billy Idol, but I think it's Billy Joel. Once said, we didn't start the fire. Millennials are, newsflash, aging. We're now at the age of 29 to 44. Many of us are starting families. Others hoping to buy homes, but finding out we can't. Why? Because boomers, along with the Gen Xers, fuck things up so badly that mostly everyone under 36 will probably never be able to afford a home. So thank fucking you. So just stop. We aren't the problem because you still can't figure out how things like apps work. That's you being lazy, refusing to learn how the modern world works. I'll tell you what, though. We were the last generation to be raised without cell phones, constantly running our lives. We aren't Gen Z. Even though many think we are, they're the ones with fucking TikTok and Twitch, not us. But at least I know what those things are. Okay, boomer? It's not millennials that don't know how to sign our own fucking name. We learn cursive, even if it isn't taught in schools anymore. They told us it was the way of the future, that we'd always be writing like this. The teachers fucking lied. I recently read a Gen Z kid bitching on Reddit that a teacher was giving him hand cramps for writing on paper because he was using his laptop to play games instead of writing down notes. So as punishment, the teacher made him write on paper. He complained about writing on fucking paper. Gasp! The horror. Handwritten notes, even handwriting is dying. Soon we'll live in a world where people don't even know how to fucking write at all. It will be AI shit. So please, I beg of you, we don't get TikTok either. We don't understand their lingo. It took me forever to figure out what MID and S and simp means, damn it. But hey, we had our own lingo like whack, yo, and bro. It was stupid, yes. Just like 70s lingo, such as Jeepers is said by Daphne Blake in every Scooby-Doo episode. And groovy is said still used by my dad. Sigh. Be more boomer, Dad. But the point is, stop fucking blaming us for your problems when you failed to learn how to keep up with the world when the rest of us fucking did. Get with the future, boomer, huh? Cancel that. Get with the present. Thanks for reading. And now this millennial who is fed up with dumbass boomers and Gen Xers who gave us Trump twice is fucking out. And all who voted for him can kiss a donkey's ass. End rant. Well, thanks for letting it rip, Ben. A long time ago, I went through how my generation had failed. I don't like being called a boomer. Fuck it. I hope I'm taking this as a reference to the one who wrote that, the other rant, because I find that kind of just, I ignore it. I've talked about the mistakes of my generation, and I don't go after others. And I've, as a matter of fact, been highly complimentary of everyone that's younger. And then I found out recently that many of the, whatever they call the generation after the generation after the generation, it kind of voted, I won't even go into it. I just really want to thank you, Ben, for getting that off your chest and letting us know what you think, which is really what's important. And I'll shut the fuck up. Boomer that I am. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me. Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.